What's up, guys and girls on the internet? Today we're doing something a little bit different. Is your PC able to run Battlefield 3? Do you think it's gonna be able to run Battlefield 4 just fine? If you're not sure, then just check the video out and we'll talk about everything you need to know. First of all, how was the evolution of Battlefield? Bad Company 2 wasn't a too hardcore game for GPU or CPU. But here's the benchmark basically. We're looking at low quality just because I want to know the low quality, because I prefer FPS over looks. So here we see that a 5770, a low-end graphics card, could run Battlefield just fine. Interestingly, a 4770 was the better card for Battlefield at this time. Bad Company obviously. For higher end graphics, 5870, great card for it. Okay, for Battlefield 3 it's a bit different. We're looking on Ultra, not on low settings, because Battlefield 3 just looks a lot better on high or Ultra than it does on low. I'm playing it on low because I prefer FPS over the looks. 6950 would be the low end I'd recommend for Battlefield 3 on Ultra. Everything below that isn't gonna run it smooth at all. As I said, a 7770 runs Battlefield 3 in 720p on low just fine. So why the hell not a 7770 and then Crossfire later? Whatever, that's your choice. If you want to play on low and 720p, then go with the 7770 for Battlefield 3. But you can see that the evolution of it is kind of high quality on the Bad Company 2, 5870, 90 FPS, 36 on Battlefield 3, a third of the FPS. From what we've seen till now from Battlefield 4, it's not too big of a change. So I'd say take a fourth out of your FPS again, especially if you're running an older processor. And so now we're gonna jump right into it with some systems that I think would run Battlefield 4 just fine. The first one would be something that console guys that experience Battlefield 3 on the console but want to change up to a RPC Elite thing for Battlefield 4 and enjoy the whole Battlefield, because I think that it's a better experience on the PC. So here we're seeing a 4350 from AMD, a nice processor, runs at 4.2 GHz. It's quite good. Battlefield 3 isn't maxing it out at all, so choose it. Then you have the 7790, a pretty new card from AMD. It's based on the new generation already, so it's gonna be just fine. It's $135. You can Crossfire it. Then the ASRock 970 Extreme 4. I'm running the Extreme 3. Many people don't like the ASRock motherboards for some reason, which I don't really know, but for me it's just fine. Mine is running just fine. If you don't like the ASRock stuff, then go with Asus or Gigabyte. Both of them are making great motherboards. If you want something cheaper than the 4350 CPU, you can go with the 965 Phenom 2 X4 thing, but this is gonna be stressful for Battlefield 4 already, and it's gonna totally be maxed out. You can SLI on this board, so basically when you see, oh, I was playing Battlefield 4 in 1080p, you can play in 1080p with this one. On low, and it's just like 30 FPS ish, then and I want something better, then just get a second one. Power supply, just choose a 500 watt if you don't want to crossfire it. Get a 650 to 750 watt if you want to crossfire it. This card is cool in Crossfire, really cool in Crossfire, and look for the power supply. It should be 80 plus certified. Don't take one that isn't 80 plus certified. If you want to upgrade your CPU a bit, you can go with the 6350. Basically 6350 is gonna be cool if you want to record your gameplay, because 4 cores are more than enough for Battlefield. The other 2 cores are then working on the recording. The 4350 is gonna be a bit more stressed with the Battlefield 4, especially because Battlefield 4 is gonna have more destruction, hopefully. I hope that. So next up would be a bit more of an expensive build. It's the first Intel build that is on the list today. I'm also going to talk about an AMD build in this range. We again have an ASRock motherboard, it's an Extreme 4 again. It's cool SLI Crossfire like the other one. It's just 35 bucks or 40 bucks more expensive. Intel, yeah. Then you have all the i5s. The i5s are all okay. 3570K is the best value. So if you have the 220 bucks that it costs at the moment, then get this one. The other ones are totally fine too. They're just lower clocked and you can't overclock them. If you don't want to overclock, then get the 3570 without the K, but it's 5 bucks difference, and maybe you want to squeeze out 200 megahertz or something out of your processor, then it's gonna be just fine. For your GPU, you can get a 660 Ti or a 660, or the ones on the horizon. 760, if you have some time, is pretty much gonna be cool, I hope. 670 Niveau or something like that. On the AMD side, 7870 all the way, or 6870, both cool cards, not too much difference between them. If you can get a cheap 6950, it's not gonna run Ultra anymore, but it's gonna run fine. So if you go with the 660, I like the Gigabyte one because the dual coolers are really working great, and it's not as expensive as the Asus direct-to-use stuff, and the Asus direct-to-use stuffs are pretty thick. But Asus is cool, Gigabyte is cool again. Those are the two manufacturers I would say are the best. EVGA has a great warranty system, and if you choose the normal 660 and do video editing, there's a 4GB version 4 of the 660 from EVGA. It's super clocked, it's amazing for video editing. Okay, so let's go one step above again, and let's take a look at the 2011 platform. For me, the 2011 is just awesome. It's a big processor, supports everything, and I love it. And so okay, so here you have the i7-3820 without a K, without anything. It's the cheapest 2011 socket processor. It's awesome. I find it to be awesome. All I've seen about it is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I like the word. Again, I'm recommending the ASRock motherboard. It's X79, it's Extreme 3. It supports, as far as you know, SLI and Crossfire. Let me check up on that. Okay, yeah, it supports SLI and Crossfire. I was totally right. It supports 3-way Crossfire and 3-way SLI. So we have three PCIe ports that are usable for SLI and that are usable for SLI and Crossfire. So back to the ASRock motherboard. It's fine. Again, many people don't like the ASRock stuff. I like it. I've never had failures with the ASRock stuff, so why not? Oh, it's right there. There. I'm an idiot. Basically, you can get this one, or again, a Gigabyte and an Asus. The Gigabyte and the Asus are gonna be a bit more expensive. The other one I'd recommend, because I've read amazing things about it, is the EVGA one. Yeah, 60 bucks more, or no, 70 bucks more. If you want to go with the EVGA one, it looks cool. Gotta say that. For your GPU, this is the one I would say could run Ultra. 670 is a really cool card, and yeah, it can run pretty much every game on Ultra. If you have a bit more money, the 680 is also cool, but 670 and 680 are based on the same GPU, so the difference in between them is not too big. So just take the 670. The 670 is a really cool GPU. If you want to build a small system, there's an Asus RG motherboard, small motherboard. Then you can get the Asus 670 mini card that was just released, I think, like a week ago or something. Both of them are cool. The RG stuff is totally cool. It's really great for seeing. All the ASRock stuff isn't that great for seeing. That's why I'm not recommending the OCable. Processors with it, basically. Okay, so these are the three systems. Now just some AMD stuff. For your AMD, just get the 8320 or the 8350 on a good motherboard. Get a Gigabyte one, get an Asus one. Those are two really cool processors. You can OC the hell out of them, especially the 8350. And if you can find a water cooling kit with it somewhere, I don't find it in Europe anymore, then get it. It's an okay water cooler and it costs like $50 more. For an 8350, I like SLI, and the new Crossfire with the newer cards is running just fine, so one of those two. If you want to go dual GPU, at the moment the SLI systems are working better. So 660, 560, 580, 580s. Used 580s are so cheap. They're dumb cheap, honestly. Get a 580. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure to click the like button. I'm gonna do more of these kind of videos in the future, and subscribe to me if you like stuff like that. On my channel, here is awesome Battlefield 3. Awesome Battlefield 3. Right down there is a subscription box. See you later, alligator in a wild crocodile. Bye bye.